Hi there, welcome to the Stellar Wyckoff Technical Analysis session, and we'll go straight into the charts and see where Stellar is heading. Because last week we put in these questions. I say, okay, maybe the second test would happen, or the sign of weakness would happen. My gut feeling was 70% chance it's going to the downside, the sign of weakness direction, 30% it's going up. And this week it shows that it's heading towards this side as of this moment. So there's still a bit of distance from the sign of weakness level that I'm expecting. That's somewhere below the green key level, because that's when the sign of weakness happened back in February. That was the level, and also the LPSY peak was around that, right below the green line. So that's why I'm expecting that is where the sign of weakness is going to show. So there's the path to this is still going on, and if there are no specific good news pushing Stellar, I think that's where it's heading to. So expect some shuffling activities to happen in the altcoin domain. So there were quite a bit of pumping that happened already, and the next stage would possibly be that the capital is going to move across different altcoins. So some that has already gone up may eventually come down, while these other altcoins that those other altcoins, not Stellar that I'm talking about, other altcoins that were a bit slow in terms of their cycles, Wyckoff cycles, may go up. So I've covered some examples earlier in the other sessions. So this for Stellar maybe is one of those that's going to come down eventually. So the big picture hasn't changed from last week. It's still going to happen this way. I just want to add a text. It may not be obvious looking at the candlesticks, but if I change it to a line chart, then you know there's actually another LPSY that happened. So usually there would be multiple LPSYs before the price really come down for accumulation. So you see last time there were 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5. If I change it to a line chart, we saw 5 over here before the actual beginning of the accumulation cycle. This time we don't know for sure yet whether it's going straight to accumulation or would there be more subsequent tests, but as of now there are already 2 LPSYs, so another few may happen before it eventually comes down. And the sign of weaknesses level differs as well. So there were 2 double dip or double bottom, and then the candlestick pattern analysis or analysts would say that's a double bottom, that's why the price went up. That's totally fine. No objection to that. Now that the price is trending down, it seems it's finding support at this yellow dashed line. This line was actually where the LPSY back in March was, but it's not a really strong support level. So even though some earlier LPSYs back in 2021 or even the automatic reaction is at this level, I consider the green level of 33 cents more solid than the yellow, because the automatic reaction of this stage, this distribution cycle, as well as the last LPSY back in mid-May, were both around this level. So there's an intermediate support level and also a key level that provides support during this leg downwards. So hopefully it may find some support and bounce up a little before it eventually dies down, if this is where it's heading. Then micro in the daily chart. Here we talked about the downward channels already, the white boxes. Basically there was one back in July-August period, and now from August till where we are now, it's still bouncing within this box. So when the time comes, one key thing over here is this triangle. So it's the tip is somewhere around next Friday. So by now till next Friday, there's one key thing the price actions has to demonstrate to us, that is it going to follow this downtrend, or is it going to break outside of the downtrend and form a new trend, much like what happened back here in early August, like around or near the end of early August, that it demonstrated, oh, we're not going to continue to follow this trend down. Instead, we do a leg up, but then eventually still starting a new descending cycle. And in addition to this channel box and the next Friday deadline, a squeeze may be forming. So earlier a squeeze happened over here, and then the price has been squeezed downwards to this point. If the price continue to trend narrowly sideways, trapped by this triangle, a new squeeze will happen here, and that may trigger another round of price movements. Not that it's always going to get to the downside. It can happen in a way that it squeezes upwards, much like what happened here back in early August, and then eventually starting a new descending channel and cycle. So that's one of the ways it can happen. Obviously, if it doesn't bound and just squeeze or dip down to the green level, like I said in the beginning explaining about the weekly time frame, if it really happens that way, then that's where it is going to be for the squeeze pressure to be released. For daily, I would say the sign of weakness has already happened. So yeah, we talk about also 70% chance, and now that it has already reached the yellow dashed line level, even if it rebound, I would consider that happened already. And one more thing, this is something that looks like a cup and handle kind of pattern, is rigged, more like seesaw, a lot of teeth, but then it does look like that. So I'm not sure whether that's going to happen this way, where the squeeze really happen if we combine these multiple indications. Finger crossed if you are bullish and you want to see a rebound. Currently the signs are not that positive to support your thinking. For the bears, yeah, even though that it seems the signals are indicating the price may come down further to test the support levels, be careful about some intermediate rebounds. So this preliminary support is more like, if it really comes down, then entering a new accumulation cycle is expected, so that's why we put in here. As of now, I would guess still this may still be let me drag this LPSY as well. 30%, I'll keep it like that. PS, not so immediate. I say still 70, but it's a later 70. More like there would be a little bit of rebound, I guess. That's getting going to get rejected at the light blue key level. That's around 40 cents. So that's the closer likely scenario. Longer term likely would be a new accumulation cycle. Hope that explains the situation of Stellar. Is more bearish than bullish, but then expect some kind of rebound along the way when it eventually comes down for the sign of weakness in the weekly time frame.